welcome to On the Shelf episode number 57 of
Brutal Battle.
And we went back into the liquor store and we were looking at beers, and I was starting to see that there are a bunch of breweries that they had singles for that I was like, I've never even heard of this brewery. We haven't had this one in a long time. So the majority of what we're going to do for the next few episodes will be on the shelves that are breweries we've never had on the podcast before. I think the first one, we've talked about them on the podcast before, but I'm not sure we've had anything from them on the podcast before. So, and the second one, I hadn't even heard of this brewery really until very recently, which I think, if memory serves correctly, there was an article by Vine Pair recently that was like their top 50 craft breweries in the United States, and that one was on it, if I'm remembering correctly. And we've never had anything from it, so very interesting. So, do you want to introduce the first one or second one? Okay, do the first one.
Do the first one. So the first one is by Checkerspot Brewing Company, and they are out of Baltimore, Maryland. It is an Italian Pilsner called Bella Birra.
Okay.
And the ABV is...
probably low. Should be low.
Oh, they're right there. It is in the front. 5.3.
There you go.
And it's a 16-ounce can.
That's what I'm talking about. Both of them are. Both the beers for this. So, this brewery, we've had stuff from them before. We actually went there once. And I think that's the only time we had anything from them is when we physically went there. And that was back in 2019. So, it's been... actually, almost 5 years. It'd be 5 years next month.
Yeah, because we went there on my birthday. We went there for beers
July.
before my birthday.
We were brewery hopping.
Yeah, because we went to Diamondback.
Yeah, we went to Diamondback, we went to Checkerspot. I think we went to one other one, but I can't remember who it was.
No, I don't think so. I think we went to Diamondback, Checkerspot, and then we went to Woodbury Kitchen for dinner.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But yeah, I remember thinking the Checkerspot beers when we were there were okay. But, wanted to check them out again. Plus, Italian-style Pilsner, I'm in. I'm interested.
It's very light.
I like the smell. Oh,
light,
sorry.
Very light yellow.
I jumped ahead. That's usually something you do.
I know. Very light yellow.
Yeah, very light yellow. Very, very, very slight haziness to it. Which could just be because it's cold, but it smells nice.
Yeah, it does.
There's a lot of honey, but there's also like some nice light citrus in there as well. Mm-hmm. So like a low-level orange mixing with the honey. Also a slight lemon rind in there.
I was going to say lemon. It's kind of just those. It's a little floral.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see some floral notes in there as well.
Like, I'm getting the honey. To me, it's honeysuckle.
I knew you were going to say that.
I was like,
wait for it, Carlin. It's coming. The honeysuckle. She's going to say it.
Well, because then I get notes of floral and I get the honey. Like, to me, it like just reminds me of honeysuckle. Sure. Which Carlin never did as a kid. But I used to do as a kid when you'd take the honeysuckle flowers and pull out like the middle. And then there'd be like a little drop of like, I don't know what it was.
Dog urine in there?
No, it wasn't dog. It was like a little
it?
like syrup that you would put on your tongue and it would taste really good.
See, I didn't do that, but when I was young, I was in 4-H, and I went to like 4-H camps, so they would teach you like some things that you can safely eat in the wild. So I would eat certain clovers that taste like lemon, and those were always good. And there were also some like wild scallions that you could find and eat if you like that type of stuff. So I would do that as a kid. Okay. Anyway, I already tasted it, so I like this. I think it's pretty tasty.
Oh, yeah. It's very light.
It's light, but I think it mirrors the aroma pretty well.
Yeah.
It's got that honeysuckle to it. It's got that little bit of like a lemon rind. It's got that little bit of oranginess in there. Definitely plenty of like honey itself. A little bit of hay in the flavor.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It like reminds me of like, there's a lot of orange coming through for me. Like an orange blossom, like orange floralness.
Yeah. I can see the orange blossom aspect because the floral plus the orange kind of going together. Yeah.
It's good.
It's pretty drying on the finish. It's got like a real dry finish to it, which love it or hate it. I'm neutral on that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. But yeah. And it's also like, it's like a little like menthol-y on the finish to me, which I think is part of that is how the dryness is making the end of the flavor kind of play on my tongue.
Yeah, it's tasty.
So yeah, I mean, you know.
Okay, moving on to beer number 2.
Yeah. All right, so this one is by a brewery called Mast Landing Brewing Company. This is their Shake Up Your Bones double dry hopped double IPA, and I'm hoping it's not hazy because it doesn't say hazy on it. And it's 8%, and they are out of somewhere in Maine. Hold on. Oh yeah, they're out of Westbrook, Maine. So again, like we've never even had anything by this brewery before. This is our 8th beer by Checkerspot that we've ever had. This will be our first Mast Landing beer. And again, I'm hoping this is not a hazy, just like West Coast, East Coast style. But knowing the market,
probably
hazy. And it's hazy. Boo. This is what we're doing now. We're not even labeling them as hazy IPAs. We're just saying it's just an IPA. That's rude. I don't like that. But maybe it tastes good. I don't know. We'll find out. Because you know us on this podcast, not into the hazies. All right. It looks very orange.
Yeah, yellow-orange.
Cannot see through it at all. It looks like a true hazy IPA. It has a nice nose.
Yeah, it does have a nice nose.
But that's the thing. A lot of these hazy IPAs have great noses, and then you drink it and you're like, oh, that tastes like almost nothing.
It's like so citrusy. Like,
yeah. I wonder if this has mosaic in it, because I get that kind of typical mosaic where it's like really rich and citrusy, but it's also got this kind of like caramelly maltiness that goes along with it. It does smell very good. I really am digging this nose. I'm getting some good pine coming out of it as well. Although the citrus is way higher than the pine. The pine's kind of like a nice accent to the citrus. I really enjoy this nose. I get a slight cat pee.
I feel like I don't even know what cat pee smells like, and I have cats.
Well, you haven't cleaned up after them enough. That's why. Yeah, this smells awesome. Yeah. I actually love the nose.
For me, I'm just getting so much. It's just like citrus.
It's smelling rich to a point where it makes me feel like the viscosity of it is going to be pretty serious, like it almost a little bit chewy, which I'm down with IPAs. Well, double IPAs.
It's definitely thick. It's good.
Oh, man. Ooh, baby. Oh, that's really a nice one. Ooh, I like this.
Yeah. It's like... really, it's almost creamy.
Yeah. It's got a great body to it. I am getting a little bit of astringency on the finish of it. I am definitely tasting that 8%.
Yeah, it's a little. You can.
It's a little. And here's the thing: like at 8%, you really shouldn't be perceiving the booze so much because it's not super boozy. It's tasting more like an 8.5, 9, unfortunately. So that's a little bit of a fail in my opinion, but the flavor that comes before it is really good.
Yeah. And we did like pass up on a couple beers that we like.
Triple IPAs?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Like 10% triple 10%. IPA. And we were like, we just know we're not going to like it.
Here's the thing though. There were a lot of those.
There were at least 2.
No, there were at least 4
really?
that I saw in there. And I wasn't even looking like super hard. I'm wondering if this is like a new thing where it's just like, yeah, let's do hazy triple IPAs. Those things typically suck horribly.
Yeah, at least we don't like them. I don't know. I guess
they get really astringent, and the flavor cannot hold up to them. But
somebody must like them. Well, this is tough. These are both 2 really good beers.
Yeah,
very different.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of, in addition to all that citrus, like I was saying in the nose, I am getting some nice pine that's kind of like an accent on the end of the citrus. But I'm also getting a little bit of bubblegum in there that I'm really enjoying.
I could see that.
And then unfortunately that astringency on the end. So honestly, I would love this exact aroma and flavor profile in a 6%. Like, drop it down 2%, and this beer would be unbelievable. Because the only thing that's kind of taken me down, in my opinion of it, is that it is astringent on the finish, and that booze just sticks with you, and you just don't want that.
Yeah, I'm not as offended as you are by it.
Right.
It's just kind of like...
I really like the beer, though.
I wish I could change... I wish it was not as boozy, but it's still a really good beer.
Oh, man. Go back to the Bella Birra, and it's like even more crisp and clean and flavorful.
Well, this is a tough one. I don't know what I'm going to pick. Do you know which one you're going to pick as your winner?
Yeah, this is hard. I mean, ideally, I'm putting these on pretty even footing.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give it to the Bella Birra, though, because it is a lot harder to do lagers than it is hoppy beers. Okay. And the other thing is, I would have picked the shake up your bones if that astringency wasn't there on the finish.
Well, I'm picking Shake Up Your Bones as my winner, but it's so close.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But I just like the way it tastes more.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, I would definitely be interested in trying a lot more Mast Landing.
So I think that was the only one there by
That's the only one I saw. But this is the thing, like, these liquor stores, they only bring in what they have room for. So especially like a brewery like this, they probably just started getting them. So I'm assuming they probably aren't bringing in a lot at first. Like, they want to see how it sells.
And sometimes they don't have all of their beers, like the beers that are in the cooler, they don't always break down into singles too.
Yeah, exactly.
So there could have been more we just didn't see.
I would be interested to know if they have other Mast Landing beers that they can get. Because it is also just possible that that's the only beer that Mast Landing has made available to the state of Maryland.
Yeah. So, and it's Mast, M-A-S-T, Landing.
Yes.
Sometimes I mishear that as Mass, M-A-S-S.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, I mean, this was a good episode.
Yeah, really good.
Glad we, took a chance on a brewery we haven't had in like 5 years, and then a brewery that we've never had.
Yeah.
That's one of the most fun things about doing this podcast is trying new breweries and finding out, are they offering something awesome or something awful or something in between?
Yeah.
But anyway, we're doing more on the shelf episodes coming up. I think we're going to do 3 more, and then I think we'll have a currently drinking, maybe a cellar dive. We've also been talking about doing a pack attack, and we were looking at the packs when we were in there. There's one that I saw, or there were 2 that I saw that I was kind of on the fence about. Like, I think we could do these. But Rebecca stepped in and was like, I'm not interested in either of those. So
there's one pack particular I'm looking for.
Yeah, but... Okay, would you say it's Trogs?
It's Trogs.
But the thing is, we've done a pack attack with Trogs in the past.
Well, I want to do another one because it's new stuff.
But I want to find more variety. I don't want to just keep doing the same breweries over and over. And that's what, these episodes are about that we're doing right now for On the Shelf. I want to bring breweries on that, have never been on typically. And, I just find that more interesting if I'm a listener of this podcast. But, I don't know how other people feel. But whatever. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Until next time.
Keep it brutal.